All right, so in this tutorial, I wanted to walk you through completing this assignment, creating a table in Google Docs, and finding all of the different shortcuts that you need. So the big deal behind this is that I want to make sure that you guys know how to do the different shortcuts on your Chromebook and your Mac to make your life easier. It seriously speeds up what you can and can't do in this class if you get these shortcuts memorized and use them consistently and frequently. So you're going to need to have a table in a Google Doc, and that's what you're going to be submitting for this assignment, okay? And you're going to need to find the shortcuts for each of these different things for both a Chromebook and your Mac. So when I'm over at my Google Doc, I'm going to create a new Google Doc, and I'm always going to be titling everything I do right at the very beginning. One of the coolest things, though, is that if I go off and type in my title in my document as like a header, um, you can go up to where it says untitled document, click, and it automatically changes that from untitled document to what it says right here as the first line. Okay, so I need to make a table, and I need my table to be big enough so that it's going to hold the different things that I'm going to need. So first of all, if I click on where it says table, and then I hover over insert table, I need to have the name of the shortcut. I need to have it for Mac. I need to have it for Chromebook. And I need to have a short explanation as what the shortcut does. So that's going to be 4 across. And let's start by going 4 across and 10 down. Okay? So this is my table. One of the nice things about this table is that if I need another column, if I need another row, or if I make a mistake in creating my table, I can always right-click on my table and I can make some modifications to it. Delete the row, delete the column. By the way, columns go up and down, rows go side to side. If I need to do any sort of properties inside here, insert another table in or a row inside of the table or a column, this is where I would go off and do that. So each of my columns needs a header. So I need to have the shortcut is going to be in the first column. The fact that it's on a Mac computer is going to be the second one. Chromebook, and then what the explanation is going to be. Okay? As I misspell explanation. So you're going to need to go through and you're going to need to find several of these shortcuts to make this work. My recommendation, go off and do a Google search for Mac keyboard shortcuts and maybe type in the type of shortcut that you're looking for, Chromebook shortcuts, and then you need to be able to tell me what they do and why that might be a use. Okay? It also might help if you make your header font bigger. So I clicked and highlighted, I centered them, and I changed the font size to something larger, like 18 looks good. Okay. Ooh, I like to have this thing be centered as well. Ah, it looks much better. Let's give it a nice big size title. Yeah. If you want to change the font, by the way, you can highlight what you need and click on where its standard one is Arial, and you can change it to something that you might like a little bit more. Okay. Now, the shortcuts that we're going to need to find, I'm going to give you the first couple right here. We have copy and we have paste. These are going to be two very important ones that you're going to be using a whole lot in this class. And so I'm going to give you those right now. You might know what they are already. And if you do, fantastic. Life is good. So for Mac, the shortcut for copy is the Command key and the letter C. Okay? Now the Command key has that little tiny squiggly line, and that's called the point of interest key. Okay? I did give you in the assignment, I actually gave you a little bit of a help right here. You can actually just highlight that, press Command C to copy, and then Command V to paste. Incidentally, that's what those shortcuts are. Command plus C and Command plus V. Okay? I'll make these a little bit bigger as well for us to be able to see. 30 looks good. Nice. All right. Now, you're going to need to know what they are on a Chromebook. Chromebooks don't have that little squiggly line, okay? But on a Chromebook, it's actually the control key, right? So I'm just spelling out an abbreviated version of control. So control and C, and then control and V. So when you guys are creating the rest of these, I want you to also be able to give me an explanation as to why you would ever want to use them, okay? It's like, what do they do, okay? So to be honest, this doesn't just copy text, it copies any highlighted text or images, okay? And then pasting, it's going to do the exact same thing, right? By the way, I remember paste as being a V because it looks like the bottom of a glue bottle, right? The reason why it's not Command and P, which is the first letter, is that's going to be used for something else, okay? Pastes any previously copied text or images, okay? So these are the shortcuts for those things, but you're also going to need to find select all. You need to find print. You need to find and explain why on the earth you'd want to do cut. It can be very helpful. You need to find undo, which is your best friend. I will explain that later. You need to use or find the shortcut for find. You need to find the shortcut for a partial screenshot and a full screenshot. Okay. Now you notice how I do want to have one more down here, which is how to save, but I didn't create enough rows. If I press the tab key and I go all the way to the bottom right hand corner and I press the tab key again, it creates a whole new row and it keeps the same formatting that was in the previous row. I can also, if I right click in here, I can go, insert row below or insert row above wherever the cursor currently is. And that can be helpful as well so that I can get the last thing in here. Now I will tell you for the Chromebook, there might be one or two of these that it doesn't actually have a shortcut for, or it has a shortcut that's one of their buttons that doesn't have like a particular symbol. You might try to find the image of that and copy it and paste it inside here, because now you know how to do that, to help fill it out. Or if it doesn't have the particular thing, you can just leave that row blank. And then when you're done with this, you're going to submit this keyboard shortcuts in the assignment.